Now we will have our fourth finalist, Alexis Shusterman. Alexis? Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
A ball of nerves?
They're there.
You're going to be just fine. Tell us a little bit about your presentation.
Today I'll be telling you about what's going up on the roof of the Exploratorium today.
We don't have anything bad up there, do we?
No.
Nothing to be afraid of.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Well, let's give it up for Alexis, everyone.
All right. We live in an era of HD. We love watching sports in HD. We like our movies in HD. Around here, even the local news is in HD. Everywhere you look, if it's not a high-definition TV, then it's a Retina display laptop or a phone that can take slow-mo video. So isn't it about time that science was in HD too? Well, my research brings the everyday benefits of HD into the realm of atmospheric chemistry. I study carbon dioxide, which you might already know is produced when you drive a car or power a factory. But when CO2 gets out into the air, it majorly alters temperatures and weather patterns and sea levels all over the world. And so for something as important as CO2, you might think that we'd have these really fancy, high-definition maps and pictures to help us keep track of it. We don't. And that's because a really nice CO2 meter is also really expensive. And so most cities can only afford to buy one. And with just one CO2 meter per city or per country, we end up with just these little blips on our CO2 map. And these little blips get smeared into these giant, messy pixels that make it really hard for researchers like me to see the patterns in CO2 that we're trying to research. For example, we can't tell if California's new climate initiative is reducing CO2 in the state. So to solve this problem, we are researching an entirely new approach. Instead of one top-of-the-line CO2 meter, we're using a bunch of these homemade sensor boxes. And we can build 12 of these boxes for the price of one fancy-pants CO2 meter. And then we take these boxes and we put them on top of schools and museums all around the Bay Area. And with our boxes as little as 1 mile apart, we are making the highest definition maps of CO2 that have ever been seen. And with our maps, we can tell you where the worst CO2 is coming from, down to the individual stretch of highway. And that's not something you could even begin to see when your pixel was the size of the entire Western United States. So with our high-definition data, we can start making CO2 reducing recommendations that are tailored to individual neighborhoods and institutions. With our sensors, we can even monitor who is following the newest CO2 regulations and who is breaking them. And that is exactly what it's going to take to tackle a problem as huge as global climate change. But now that we're monitoring CO2 in HD, we can give it every last pixel we've got. Thank you.
Wonderful, Alexis. Now we will hear from our judges. Sam, what do you think?
All right, well, nice job, Alexis. I thought it was very strong, even from the very beginning. Just a very good job of bringing energy, connecting it to something that people know about and care about, and from the very start, just going right after it, and so very nice job with that. And again, I thought you did a very nice job of setting up a problem and telling us why it's a problem. So we got a sense of, oh no, what are we going to do about this? And then you had the answer for it. So it's kind of satisfying when things are structured that way, where you can see the problem and then you kind of go into the solution for it. And you did a very nice job with the slides, too. I thought they really added something. Instead of just having a picture there or just kind of doing it, I thought they added something, kind of bringing something out even beyond, which I guess is good in your kind of research since you're sort of working with visual kind of things. So all those were very nice.
Thank you.
I loved it. I thought that you stayed cool and you rolled with what was happening at the very beginning, and you took control. You took the space and you were going to stay in charge and take us with you. So I really appreciated that. I felt you really knew your subject. I felt that your thoughts, your mind was connected to your body, and you were making the effort to connect to the audience. I kind of wanted you to stay on certain people at certain times for a longer amount so that you can land even more effectively on them. I thought your points of view were clear and vivid, and I thought you spoke with some authentic passion, and your use of sense of humor, it works for you. Careful about, it all works for me. I'm not even going to make the comment I was going to make because I don't want to mess up your head. So, be well.
And Kiki.
I loved it also. Great presentation, great presence on stage from the very beginning. I loved your use of language. I thought you simplified your topic, but you didn't dumb it down too much. I think it's very appropriate for this audience, but just always be conscious of how the words you use to simplify based on the audience that you're trying to approach. I was listening to this entire presentation thinking, man, I want to see this animated as a TED Ed animation. Like, I want to see that. And I think, you know, it really hit me, and I thought the entire presentation flowed very well. And at the end, I think you made a very large problem seem like something that we could tackle and that was solvable, and that is something that is very important for something as big as global climate change. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Alexis, do you have any further thoughts about any of the comments you've received?
Oh, those were great comments. Thank you guys so much. And thank you guys all for being here. It's really great to see support for this kind of work and for this kind of work, and all this work is so great to see support for. So thank you guys.
And thank you. Let's give another round of applause to Alexis Shusterman.